impressions of your defense against Alabama?
I was really proud of our effort, and we always talked about playing to our identity. I thought our guys played really hard in the game, made some big plays. We did a really good job situationally in the second half as far as red zone stops and doing those kind of things, and we just fell a little short. But tell you what, I was really proud of the way we played physically. They ran the ball a little bit in the second half on some perimeter runs, but for the most part, particularly in the first half, I thought we did a good job on the run. We were 7 of 9 on third down going into the last third down. Stopped them, a couple times in the red zone there with a missed field goal, and then got a sack that forced them to kick a field goal right before half. So we just got to keep playing and getting better and getting that situation again.
That 3rd and 15 play, if you had to do it again, what would you change?
Well, here's the deal is you always, you have a certain style that you're going to play, and you're going to play a certain way to give your players the best chance to win the game. So a lot of times those decisions on how you're going to play have already been made when it comes up. We were 7 of 9 on third down going into that play relative to the game. It's something we know how to do it. So, we just got to keep playing. Now, I think I got to do a better job of making sure they understand exactly how it's going to play out, because there's a certain way it's going to play out relative to what we're doing. So I need to do a better job on that. But, we're there to win the game. We're there to finish the game and to make a play. So, we'll keep working at it.
What are you expecting to see from Arkansas this weekend? I know they're getting their quarterback back or getting back.
Yeah, when you look when he plays, they were really efficient on offense. So by him being able to play last week, I'm sure that he'll be a little bit more efficient this week. And, when I watched him in the summer, I thought he was a dynamic player. He was a guy that I had a lot of respect for as a quarterback in this league, one of the top ones in this league. So we've got a lot of respect for him. So, and then when you look at their offensive line, they got really good size up front. They got some tight ends that can make some things happen. They do a good job with their play-action passes, so discipline with your eyes is always going to be critical. So we understand that we've got to move forward and get ready for this one and take the challenge, because you got to go on the road and win an SEC game.
Arkansas had to replace their center 3 weeks ago, and then at the same time move their right tackle to right guard. What have you seen out of those two positions?
I think those guys have done a good job. When you look at the guy that's replaced him at center, I think he's done a really good job of getting movement at the point of attack. I think their offensive line's got really good size, and they do a solid job. So we know it's going to be a challenge. We know that we have to prepare to play a really physical game on the road, and we've got to have that kind of mindset the whole week.
Arkansas under Bielma has just really been good using their tight ends. Whether it's the Hunter Henrys, the Sprinkles, the guys they have now. What makes them so difficult to match up with the tight ends?
Well, first of all, I think those guys are talented. They got size, they got some athletic ability, they can run. They're a run-oriented team. So anytime you're a run-oriented team like that, and you can have some play-action passes off of those runs, tight ends can slip through, get behind backers. Safeties with bad eyes, they can get behind those guys in quarters coverage. So, you've got to be really disciplined with your eyes, because they'll make the run and pass look very similar. And if you're not disciplined with your eyes, they can hurt you on some plays. So it really gets down to their passing game with the tight ends is a very good complement to their run game, and it meshes very well. So you've got to make sure you do a good job with your eyes and what you got to do.
Coach, you mentioned eye discipline, and Arkansas seems to just want to screen you to death and all these throwbacks. It's like they put a lot of stress on the safeties. How do you kind of prepare for that?
Well, you got, like you said, you got to have a lot of discipline. You got to understand who you're covering, and you got to understand where your leverage is, where your help is, and you got to understand that they do a good job with their screen game as well as their boots, and you got to be able to defend it.
Willie and Errol, a couple of young guys that continue to kind of make the presence felt. How fun is it for you as a coach to get to deal with young, talented guys that don't have a whole lot of experience? Is that more of a teaching process? That's something that you really get a lot out of.
When you look in that game, both those guys were in there in the Alabama game. Look, they were in there in the second half battling, and you see both of those guys get better every week. So that part of it's fun. I think that both of them have a bright future here with what we're doing, and we'll continue to develop those guys. But just seeing guys like those two guys being able to continue to develop, play young early in their career, and give us some much needed rest for guys. We play a lot of guys on defense, and when you can play young guys like that, I think it helps the whole maturity, I think it helps the morale of your team, and we'll continue to try to do that. But those guys have been very good at staying in the game when they're not in the game, to know what's going to happen when they get in the game, and when their number's called, they've done a good job of going in and playing well.
In what areas specifically has Errol improved over the last 3 weeks?
I think Errol's done a good job with understanding the misdirection kind of stuff, understanding who my match is relative to the formation, being a little bit more of a leader in the sense of command of the huddle, command of the call, command of what we got to do. And I think that comes with snaps and comfort and those kind of things. And he's a physical presence. You know, the one thing about Errol is when he hits a guy, they usually stop. You know, so like a 3-yard gain is a 3-yard gain, which is big. As a coordinator, you know, 2nd and 7 is a big difference than 2nd and 5. And that's the thing that he really does. So very pleased with his work ethic, his mindset, and the way he's progressed.
Coach Mullen said that Dez may not be able to play, or wouldn't know on Dez until middle of the week. Who steps into that role if he's not able to go?
You know, well, we'll just have to wait and see. I mean, we're kind of taking it day by day with him. But, you know, Tim's a guy that's played for us. Errol's played for us. I mean, we've got linebackers in there. Leo's played. I mean, so we have guys at that spot. So we'll just mix and match, because really whether you're playing Mac or Money, it's really the same thing. So we'll just have to wait and see moving forward how Dez's situation is and how we need to play it.
What would be like your level of confidence as far as replacing him, as far as his vocal leadership goes with you know, calling plays and whatnot?
I'm comfortable because, you know, he got hurt in the A&M game, and Errol played 55 plays. So it's been done. I mean, you know, injuries are a part of the game. You know, no one's going to feel sorry for us, and, you know, we don't make that an excuse. So it's next man up, and just got to go play.
You mentioned the misdirection stuff with Errol. Is that a tough learning curve for young linebackers to get, since you see so much of it in the college-style spread?
Yeah, because, you know, you're thinking the ball's going to, say, the right, and all of a sudden it's coming back to the left based upon the initial flow is telling you, then it's coming back, and then you got to be able to put your foot in the ground and come back. So it's a discipline thing, it's an eye thing, it is an experience thing, I think, too, as you get comfortable, and I think that's something he's done a good job with.